Chapter 51 Jade Tiger, Half-Step Yuandan. You are listening at novelfull.audio. After entering the teleportation array, Lin Yuan's eyes blurred, and in a blink of an eye, he appeared in a completely unfamiliar environment. With the previous experience of entering the ancient sect ruins, Lin Yuan quickly reacted and began to observe the surrounding environment. He initially thought that this 10,000 monster realm should be a certain area in the back mountain of the Zhangtian sword sect. But he found that this was not the back mountain he was familiar with. It's not even anywhere within the sect that he has been to. It seems that this world of monsters is indeed somewhat mysterious. Lin Yuan secretly thought in his heart that he could feel that the spiritual energy of heaven and earth in the 10,000 monsters realm was more abundant than that in the mountain gate. Even if he did nothing and found a hidden place to practice, it would be extremely difficult for a warrior in the Qi gathering realm. Harvest, however, it is certainly impossible for Lin Yuan to do this. His purpose in entering the 10,000 monster realm is very clear, which is to seize as many opportunities as possible. The elders of the Zhangtian sword sect just said that the teleportation array that enters the 10,000 demon realm is completely random and will randomly teleport all warriors to a place outside the 10,000 demon realm. The world of 10,000 demons opens for 30 days. During these 30 days, warriors who enter the 10,000 demon realm cannot leave. They will only be sent out again when the 30 days are up. For warriors who enter the 10,000 demon realm, this place is not only a treasure land full of opportunities, but also a battlefield where murderous intent lurks. Because in the 30 days since the 10,000 demon realm opens, no matter what kind of crisis they encounter, they must rely on their own strength to face it. The crisis is not only the ubiquitous monsters in the 10,000 demon realm, but also the disciples who enter the 10,000 demon realm together. Let's look around first and see if we can meet anyone. Lin Yuan found that he was surrounded by a dense forest. Such a place was very suitable for hiding, but in front of him, even if there were people hiding in the dense forest, he could still see the words opportunity above the heads of these warriors. This is considered a home court that is naturally more suitable for Lin Yuan. After Lin Yuan briefly identified the direction, he headed north. However, to his regret, he only met 2 or 3 inner disciples along the way, and there was no chance mark on their heads. These people are all at the Qi gathering realm. It seems that he is planning to hide in this dense forest and absorb spiritual energy to improve his cultivation level. For such people, Lin Yuan naturally didn't bother to disturb them. Even if warriors in the Qi gathering stage rob it, they may not be able to gain anything valuable. The ones who can really earn spiritual stones are those warriors who are in the Yuandan realm and have a chance above them. Lin Yuan continued to move forward. Not long after he left, his ears moved slightly, as if he heard something, and he immediately became alert. He hid behind a big tree and secretly observed the situation. Not far away, a giant tiger with striking eyes and blue forehead was slowly walking towards his direction. Lin Yuan was slightly surprised after seeing this giant tiger. This is a 3rd-level jade tiger. When he was in the back mountain, he found a 3-star opportunity and found such a monster. He also used its essence and blood to temper his body and increase his physical strength. It's just that the jade tiger was seriously injured and on the verge of death, but the one in front of him was in peak condition. While Lin Yuan was looking at the jade tiger, the other party suddenly knelt down and suddenly looked towards the direction where he was hiding. Obviously, this jade tiger also discovered Lin Yuan. The 3rd-level monster is equivalent to the Qi gathering realm of a warrior, and the jade tiger is the stronger among the 3rd-level monsters. Since it is also eyeing me, why not use it to practice my skills? Lin Yuan thought so in his heart. He is now at the peak of the 6th level of Qi gathering, but his combat power far exceeds that of warriors at the same level. He should be able to deal with a jade tiger without difficulty. The essence and blood of a 3rd-level monster is a very valuable thing. In addition to being used by oneself to temper the body, it can also be refined into elixirs and sold for even higher prices. Lin Yuan would naturally not miss this 3rd-level monster that came to his door. After deciding to take action, Lin Yuan secretly began to prepare for the sword on his waist. The environment in the 10,000 demon realm is complicated, and warriors may be encountered at any time to kill and steal goods. Now that Lin Yuan has decided to take action, he must do his best to achieve a quick victory. Otherwise, once the fluctuations in the battle attract other warriors, it will cause a lot of unnecessary trouble. At this time, the Jade Tiger also locked onto Lin Yuan's position. Its tiger eyes were fixed on Lin Yuan's direction, and after letting out a low roar, it quickly rushed towards this side. In its prime state, the Jade Tiger's combat power ranks among the best among third-level monsters. Its 3-meter-long body does not affect its flexibility at all. The figure drags a series of afterimages and rushes towards Lin Yuan in the blink of an eye. Come over, however. Although the Jade Tiger is fast, Lin Yuan's movements are faster than him. The 9 sky-splitting swords struck out in succession. The first 3 swords were blocked by the opponent's huge tiger claws, but the 4th sword had already scratched the Jade Tiger's chest. Lin Yuan took advantage of the situation and stirred up the situation. From the huge wound on the Jade Tiger's chest, a large amount of bloody internal organs gushed out, and a scream suddenly came from the bloody mouth. Lin Yuan showed no mercy. After drawing his sword, he immediately struck out with another sword, directly striking the Jade Tiger's eyes. Boom! After being stabbed into the left eye by Lin Yuan's sword, the Jade Tiger struggled for a moment and then fell to the ground. The tiger's body, which was more than 3 meters long and weighed several thousand kilograms, fell to the ground, raising a large cloud of smoke and dust. Lin Yuan sheathed his sword and looked at the steaming green Jade Tiger corpse in front of him, with a flash of surprise in his eyes. After comprehending the sword intent, he found that when he used the sky-splitting 9 swords again, the power was obviously much stronger than before. With the blessing of the sword intent, the sky-splitting 9 swords became sharper and the power increased by nearly 1-fold. From the perspective of power, it has already reached the level of the upper grade of the Dao rank. The 3rd grade sword intent is indeed extraordinary. No wonder even the Purple Star Saint treated me differently after I comprehended the 3rd grade sword intent. Lin Yuan thought secretly in his heart. He was about to collect the blood essence of the green Jade Tiger, when suddenly a sound of breaking through the air came from behind him. When Lin Yuan heard the sound of breaking through the air, his body reacted subconsciously. He dodged to the side, and at the moment of sideways, a sharp sword energy almost flew past Lin Yuan's chest. If he was half a second later, he would probably be pierced through the chest by this sword energy. Half-step Yuandan warrior. Lin Yuan judged the opponent's strength and cultivation through the aura, and the whole person instantly became alert. In the world of all monsters, warriors are much more threatening to warriors than monsters. Monsters are powerful, but they can't sneak attack like warriors. The warrior who attacked him was very fast, and Lin Yuan had almost no time to react. After the attack missed, he dodged and ran into the lush jungle. In a blink of an eye, he disappeared without a trace. Warm reminder: if you find that clicking the next page will force you to jump to other websites, please use the chapter error or contact us at the bottom to inform us. We will deal with it as soon as possible. Thank you for your understanding. Chapter 52, Counterattack, 4-star opportunity. You are listening at NovelFull.audio. Lin Yuan did not chase him immediately after seeing this. The opponent's martial arts cultivation was far superior to his own. If he rashly chased him when he was deliberately hiding and attacking, he would easily fall into a trap. He first collected the blood essence of the green Jade Tiger, and then walked in the direction where the opponent left without panic. Lin Yuan knew that this man would definitely not attack him for no reason. He must have a plan for attacking him. Whether it was the 100,000 spirit stone reward of the Tianyou or the valuable blood essence of the 3rd-level monster, as long as there was a plan, then the opponent would definitely attack him next. He only needed to accumulate momentum in advance, wait for the opponent to take the initiative, and then fight back. Sure enough, just as Lin Yuan guessed, he had just taken a few steps when he heard a slight rustling sound coming from the dense forest, and then the previous sense of oppression that made his hair stand on end came again. Lin Yuan did not hesitate to activate the 3 mysterious changes of the divine fire, and directly handed out a shocking sword in the direction of the attacker. Under the dual blessing of the 3 mysterious changes of the divine fire and the accumulation of power, the power of the shocking sword instantly exploded to the extreme. Lin Yuan turned into a dazzling white rainbow and rushed towards the direction of the black shadow. Previously in Sunset City, Lin Yuan's shocking sword could not seriously injure the half-step Yuandan Wang family patriarch, but now, after comprehending the 3rd grade sword meaning, the power of the shocking sword has reached a new height. Even if it is a real Yuandan warrior, it may not be able to escape unscathed if it takes Lin Yuan's full-strength attack head-on. What's more, Lin Yuan's opponent is only a half-step Yuandan, the white rainbow and the black shadow intertwined, and Lin Yuan's figure landed gracefully, and the sword in his hand returned to the sheath. After the black shadow landed, his eyes suddenly widened, and his eyes were full of shock. He couldn't believe that a warrior with a 6th level chi gathering could actually burst out such a powerful attack. He wanted to turn his head to look at Lin Yuan, but at this time, a bloodline quietly bloomed from his neck. Before the half-step Yuandan warrior could turn around, his head rolled off his neck, and in a flash, his head and body were separated. After Lin Yuan put away his sword, he turned around and came to the warrior's corpse, and kicked the other's head away casually. He naturally had no mercy on the person who assassinated him. After taking out the storage bag from the other's chest, Lin Yuan suddenly found that there was a familiar waist badge hanging on the man's waist. It was made of white jade, and the word Tian was engraved on it. It was a member of the Tianmeng. Lin Yuan immediately understood. Before entering the 10,000 monsters realm, senior sister Su told him that the Tianmeng had placed a reward on him. People die for money, and birds die for food. Lin Yuan put away the other's storage bag casually, stepped on the waist badge representing the other's identity of the Tianmeng, and turned to walk towards the depths of the dense forest. He knew, this half-step Yuandan warrior was just a beginning. Next, countless Tianmeng disciples will come to assassinate him for the reward of 100,000 low-grade spirit stones. In this case, it is better to take the initiative to attack rather than passively take the beating. Lin Yuan thought secretly in his heart, since he and Tianmeng are already in a situation of life and death, then he should take the initiative to attack and target these Tianmeng disciples instead of waiting for them to kill him. He remembered that before entering the 10,000 monsters realm, he noticed that many warriors with opportunities were carrying the waist badges of Tianmeng. Lin Yuan felt a little sorry for intercepting his fellow disciples, but if the target of interception was changed to Tianmeng, then he would not have any guilt. Tianmeng spent 100,000 low-grade spirit stones to reward him, so it should not be too much for him to kill a few Tianmeng disciples and intercept their opportunities. Soon, Lin Yuan finally walked out of the dense forest. Along the way, he met several inner disciples in the Qi condensation realm, but their situations were the same as those that Lin Yuan had met before. They were all insignificant people who only wanted to absorb spiritual energy and practice in the 10,000 monsters realm. Lin Yuan did not disturb them, but asked a senior brother who looked to be in his 40s and should have entered the 10,000 monsters realm once, and learned the way out of the dense forest. It is worth mentioning that Lin Yuan found that the senior brother who looked honest and dull had a 1-star opportunity, and the opportunity line was connected to himself, and the words 2-star opportunity appeared on his body, connected to the other person. He smiled knowingly, took out a medium-grade spirit stone and handed it to the other person, saying that it was the fee for asking for directions. The inner brother was deeply moved, and quickly took out a hand-drawn map from his storage bag and handed it to Lin Yuan, saying that this was his 3rd time entering the 10,000 monsters realm, and even the map in the hands of the Heavenly Alliance was hand-drawn by himself. Lin Yuan was slightly surprised. He didn't expect that he would get a map of the 10,000 monsters realm by taking out 100 spirit stones, although it was only the outer area, and many places were blank. It saved Lin Yuan a lot of time for exploration. After leaving the dense forest, Lin Yuan followed the map and headed towards the Broken Dragon Cliff on the map. Earlier, senior brother Moon had seen several disciples of the Heavenly Alliance rushing towards the Broken Dragon Cliff. Lin Yuan's target was these disciples of the Heavenly Alliance. Broken Dragon Cliff is 2 mountains next to each other. There is a crack of dozens of meters between the mountains. Under the crack is a bottomless cliff. Because the terrain is steep, even a Yuandan warrior will die after falling off the cliff, so it is named Broken Dragon Cliff. Lin Yuan came to Broken Dragon Cliff. Soon, several Tianmeng disciples were seen. They were climbing up the Broken Dragon Cliff quickly, and in front of these Tianmeng disciples, there seemed to be another figure, fleeing at high speed. Could it be that the Tianmeng people are chasing someone? Lin Yuan was a little curious and quickly followed to check. He did not actively expose his figure, but followed these Tianmeng disciples not far away. Through the Qi, Lin Yuan found that the strength of these Tianmeng disciples was generally not strong. The strongest one was only the 8th level of Qi condensation, the weakest one was even only the 5th level of Qi condensation, and these people looked familiar. It should be the ones who were chattering beside me when Yi Beifeng and I went to the life and death arena. Lin Yuan recognized the other party's identity. He didn't have a deep impression of this kind of people, but vaguely remembered that they were these people. Lin Yuan continued to move forward and suddenly found that the familiar word chance appeared above the head of the person being chased by this group of Tianmeng disciples. This person has been extremely lucky recently and is about to get a 4-star chance. That what surprised Lin Yuan was that the chance line extending from this person's chest actually went straight to the bottom of the bottomless cliff not far away. Chapter 53 Broken Dragon Cliff, Han Paopao. You are listening at NovelFull.audio. This line of opportunity is actually connected under Broken Dragon Cliff. Lin Yuan was secretly surprised, but he quickly figured out the whole story. This inner disciple at the 7th level of Qi Gathering was naturally no match for the 5 Tianmeng disciples led by the 8th level of Qi Gathering. It should be a case of being forced to do nothing. This person decided to jump into the cliff, but for some reason he didn't fall to his death. Instead, he got a blessing in disguise and got an opportunity from under the cliff. The 4-star chance is neither high nor low. In the world of monsters, it is already considered very good to have such a harvest. Therefore, Lin Yuan decided to cut off this opportunity. His originally unhurried speed suddenly increased sharply, and in the blink of an eye, he had passed the disciples of the Tianmeng and arrived at the side of the hunted young man. When the young man saw this, he felt as if he was facing a powerful enemy. The energy in his body quickly condensed, and he was about to attack Lin Yuan. "Don't get excited, I'm here to help you." Lin Yuan explained aloud, "The Tianmeng and I have had a feud for a long time. When I saw you being chased by these guys, I decided to help you." Hearing Lin Yuan's words, the young man relaxed slightly, but he still looked at Lin Yuan with some vigilance. People in the 10,000 demon realm are unpredictable, and even if Lin Yuan explains his intention, he doesn't dare to believe it easily. At this time, the two figures had almost reached the edge of the cliff. The figures of the 5 Tianmeng disciples have gradually caught up with them, and the one in front is the disciple at the 8th level of Qi Gathering. "Han Yi, you have no way to escape, why don't you just come and die?" That the leader of the 8th level disciple of Qi Gathering threatened sternly. Only then did he realize that the figure that passed him just now was Lin Yuan, who had killed senior brother Yi Beifeng not long ago. "It's you." The 8th level disciple of Qi Gathering looked at Lin Yuan. A look of fear immediately flashed across his face. Lin Yuan didn't talk nonsense to the other party. Even Yi Beifeng, who was at the 9th level of Qi Gathering, and the half-step Yuandan who sneaked up on him just now, he could kill with one sword, let alone a mere 8th level of Qi Gathering. He was getting ready to take action. However, Han Yi frowned and realized that the matter was not simple, so he retreated behind Lin Yuan and whispered, "Brother, I am willing to help. I am very grateful to Mr. Han. But the opponent has a large number of people and is led by the 8th level of Qi Gathering. If we attack directly, we will definitely suffer losses. This matter needs to be discussed in the long term." Say it. He took a look at the broken dragon cliff at his feet, and noticed with sharp eyes that a thick branch could be vaguely seen on the edge of the cliff. If you can jump to the branch as a buffer, and then jump down, you may have a chance to survive. Although Han Yi didn't know what Lin Yuan's cultivation level was, he estimated that Lin Yuan could not be a Yuandan strongman. In the case of Qi Gathering realm, 2 against 5 was obviously not very realistic. What's more, the opponent still has an 8th level Qi Gathering expert. Rather than die in vain, it is better to grit your teeth and take a gamble. There may be a chance of survival if you jump off the dragon cliff. If you fight hard, you will lose everything if you die. Lin Yuan was slightly shocked when he heard this. He didn't expect that Han Yi would still be so cowardly even though he was already here to help, and he could only think about escaping. But, since Lin Yuan had decided to cut off his beard, he naturally would not let Han Yi jump off the dragon cliff. He said to Han Yi, "Don't worry, you can hold on to the 8th level Qi Gatherer, and let me deal with the rest." "Are you sure?" "Certainly." Lin Yuan nodded. In fact, he could easily defeat these 5 Tianmeng disciples without Han Yi taking any action. He was just worried that this guy was so cowardly. If he took action soon, this guy would run away and jump off a cliff first, and his 4-star chance would be lost. Therefore, Lin Yuan could only use excuses to stabilize Han Yi. Okay, now that things are happening, life or death is still uncertain when jumping off a cliff. Since you are sure, brother, let's take a gamble. But let me make it clear first that I can only hold him for a stick of incense. Enough. Lin Yuan didn't wait for Han Yi to finish speaking, and his figure suddenly surged, and in an instant, he was in front of the Tianmeng disciples. What a speed! Han Yi was secretly frightened. He could feel that Lin Yuan's cultivation was not much stronger than his own, but his speed was beyond his own reach. In the blink of an eye, Lin Yuan had already raised his sword and rushed towards the 4 Tianmeng disciples, and Han Yi also hurriedly entangled the opponent's 8th level Qi gathering disciple. Although Han Yixiu was 1 level weaker than his opponent, when the two sides fought, he was not at a disadvantage at all. On the contrary, there was a faint tendency to suppress the opponent at the 8th level of Qi gathering. The battle on Lin Yuan's side ended in the blink of an eye. A group of warriors at the 5th and 6th levels of Qi gathering were simply unable to withstand the sharp edge of the 9 sky-splitting swords. In one confrontation, they were killed on the spot. After settling the battle, Lin Yuan observed Han Yi with great interest for a moment. It wasn't until the offensive and defensive positions changed and Han Yi began to fall into a slight disadvantage that he was ready to take action to deal with the 8th level of Qi gathering. At this time, the 8th level Qi gathering warrior also noticed that the situation was not good. He decisively forced Han Yi back with a palm, took out a jade tablet from his storage bag, poured his energy into it and shouted loudly. Young master, Lin Yuan appears at Broken Dragon Cliff, help! As soon as he finished speaking, Lin Yuan's shocking sword strike had already struck him. This warrior at the 8th level of Qi gathering had been fighting with Han Yi for a long time. He could not withstand the sharp edge of the shocking sword. He was directly decapitated by the sword and his headless body fell to the ground. Han Yi was stunned. He thought he was on the verge of despair and could only jump off a cliff to gamble his life. He didn't expect that Lin Yuan, whom he met halfway, was so powerful that he killed 5 Tianmeng disciples in a row. Thank you, Brother Lin, for your help. Han Yi said to Lin Yuan with sincere gratitude. You're welcome. I have had a feud with Tianmeng for a long time. I just helped him when I saw injustice. Lin Yuan said calmly. At the same time, he remembered the jade token that the 8th level Qi Ju disciple took out before his death, and reminded Han Yi, that guy may have used a communication magic weapon. I guess the people from Tianmeng will be here soon. Yeah. Han Yi nodded in agreement. I will remember Brother Lin's life-saving grace, and I will repay him in the future. Now is not the time to talk nonsense. We will remain unchanged and live forever. After that, Han Yi ran away quickly, and even Lin Yuan was a little surprised at his speed. No wonder he was chased by 5 Tianmeng disciples for so long. This guy is really good at running away. After watching Han Yi leave, Lin Yuan did not run away directly, but walked slowly to the Broken Dragon Cliff. He did not choose to jump off the cliff directly, but drew out his sword, used it as an ice pick, and slowly groped down along the stone wall of the Broken Dragon Cliff. Lin Yuan's purpose was naturally to get the 4-star opportunity that belonged to Han Yi. Now it should belong to himself. When Lin Yuan walked halfway under the Broken Dragon Cliff, he found a thick branch growing out of the cliff. Originally, Han Yi should have jumped off the cliff and hung on the branch, so he escaped the disaster and did not die on the Broken Dragon Cliff. Chapter 54 Breakthrough, Qi Gathering Level 7, please urge for more updates. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Soon, Lin Yuan came to the bottom of Broken Dragon Cliff. Following the remaining lines of opportunity, he quickly found the location of the 4-star opportunity. It was a fluorescent mushroom. Is this a 4-star opportunity? Lin Yuan stepped forward with some curiosity, looking at the mushrooms in front of him doubtfully. He had never seen this kind of mushroom before. If it weren't for the chance line extending from Han Yi's body, which was connected to this mushroom, Lin Yuan might not have noticed it even if he passed by. There is no aura on this mushroom. Lin Yuan had read the true explanation of alchemy, but the herbs mentioned in the true explanation of alchemy did not include this mushroom. Under doubt, Lin Yuan did not dare to swallow it hastily. He picked the mushrooms and put them in his storage bag. Fortunately, when Lin Yuan got the true solution to alchemy, the storage bag that came with it was special. allowing the elixir inside to maintain its medicinal properties. Putting the mushrooms inside, Lin Yuan didn't have to worry about the loss of medicinal properties. After collecting the mushrooms, Lin Yuan was about to leave, but suddenly found that the spiritual energy under Broken Dragon Cliff began to become abundant. This is spiritual energy that comes out of thin air, it just comes from picking your own mushrooms. Lin Yuan immediately ran the Qingyue dragon transformation technique without hesitation and began to absorb the escaped spiritual energy. The appearance of these spiritual energy made him more certain, this mushroom is absolutely extraordinary. After you leave the world of 10,000 demons, you must find out what it is as soon as possible. While Lin Yuan was practicing cross-legged above Broken Dragon Cliff, a group of Tianmeng disciples, like stars surrounding the moon, surrounded Shangguan Tianyou and came to the cliff. Shangguan Tianyou was going to find that thing in the world of 10,000 monsters. The way into the depths of the world of 10,000 monsters happened to pass by Broken Dragon Cliff, otherwise, with his character, just 5 Tianmeng disciples would die if they died, which would not be enough to waste his time. Young master, we only found the bodies of our Tianmeng disciples, but no trace of the murderer. He must have escaped. A Yuandan warrior observed the surroundings and said respectfully to Shangguan Tianyou. Shangguan Tianyou glanced casually, and his eyes quickly fell on the cliff of Broken Dragon Cliff. After just one glance, he snorted coldly. Underneath. Everyone was immediately shocked, and after observing carefully for a long time, they discovered the almost imperceptible traces on the cliff. Everyone secretly admired Shangguan Tianyou's vision. Such subtle traces, if you don't observe carefully, you will never be able to tell the clues, but he just took a casual glance and discovered something fishy. Silence, please go down there. Shangguan Tianyou randomly selected someone in the crowd and said, there are some good things under Broken Dragon Cliff. Go and bring them up with Lin Yuan's head. Yes, a Yuandan warrior from the crowd came out and saluted Shangguan Tianyou with an extremely respectful expression. He is the peak of the first level of Yuandan. If he could kill Lin Yuan this time and get a bounty of 100,000 low-grade spiritual stones, it would be enough for him to successfully break through the second level of Yuandan in exchange for resources. When it's done, go to Xiaolei realm to find me. Shangguan Tianyou gave a faint instruction, and then led everyone to continue walking north. To him, the only thing that mattered in the entire 10,000 monster realm was that thing. As for Lin Yuan, he was just a chi-gathering warrior and had no right to waste his time. Except for the young man named Silence, the others quickly followed Shangguan Tianyou and left. Everyone was secretly envious that Shen could earn a bounty of 100,000 low-grade spiritual stones for nothing. These people are all elites of the Tianmeng, and all of them are Yuandan warriors. Anyone who takes it out can easily kill a warrior at the 6th level of Qi gathering. In their view, whoever is named by the young master means getting a large reward in vain. At the same time, Lin Yuan didn't know what happened above Broken Dragon Cliff. He was running the blue sky dragon transformation technique, quickly absorbing the surrounding spiritual energy of heaven and earth. After the mushroom was removed, the spiritual energy escaping from the root was very huge. A full quarter of an hour, Lin Yuan Kai absorbed all the spiritual energy, and his martial arts cultivation, which was already at the peak of the 6th level of Qi gathering, took a step forward and broke through to the 7th level of Qi gathering. Very good. Lin Yuan opened his eyes with satisfaction. He has actually tried to break through to the 7th level of Qi gathering in the past few days. Unfortunately, after the Qi gathering level, martial arts training becomes more and more difficult, and breakthrough cannot be accomplished overnight, and now, with the help of the spiritual energy at the bottom of Broken Dragon Cliff, he finally successfully completed the breakthrough. After breaking through the 7th level of Qi gathering, the spiritual energy in my body increased by about 30%. In other words, after using the third form of Lingxiao sword art once, the remaining spiritual energy is enough to support me to use the shocking sword again. Lin Yuan felt the growth of the vortex of vitality in his body, and felt a little excited in his heart. Although he had mastered the first 3 moves of Lingxiao sword technique. But, Xian-level martial arts consume a huge amount of energy. Generally speaking, Yuandan warriors can barely perform Xian-level martial arts. Only when they reach Tongxian can they truly unleash the power of Xian-level martial arts. Lin Yuan practiced the supreme technique, and his vitality was far greater than that of warriors at the same level, but even so, the vitality in his body before was only enough to perform the third form of Ling Xiao's sword technique once. After using it, the energy in his body will be exhausted, leaving him with no means to protect himself, but that's different now, after breaking through to the 7th level of Qi condensation. After using the third form of Ling Xiao's sword art, there will still be some vitality left, which will naturally give him more choices when fighting with others in the future. After absorbing the spiritual energy at the bottom of Broken Dragon Cliff, Lin Yuan originally planned to leave. At this moment, he suddenly realized that a strong aura was slowly approaching from the top of his head. Lin Yuan looked carefully and found a figure landing on the thick branch of the cliff. The aura was emanating from this figure. Yuandan warrior. Lin Yuan's pupils suddenly shrank. He could feel that this aura was extremely powerful, stronger than all the warriors he had fought before. He immediately judged, this person should be a strong man who has truly broken through the Yuandan realm. This person was named by Shangguan Tianyou to kill Lin Yuan at the bottom of Broken Dragon Cliff. Momo, at this time, Silent also noticed Lin Yuan's trail. He jumped down from the thick branch and fell like a meteorite. A loud noise suddenly came from the bottom of the Broken Dragon Cliff. Silent's figure fell in front of Lin Yuan. The branch to the bottom of the Broken Dragon Cliff was hundreds of meters high, but Silent relied on the powerful cultivation of the first level of Yuandan to jump down from it. Lin Yuan immediately became alert. He immediately began to prepare for the sword drawing technique, and at the same time, the vitality in his body burst out, and he could perform the 3 mysterious changes of the divine fire at any time. Facing a warrior in the Yuandan realm, he dared not relax at all, because 10,000 words are updated every day, and 5 updates are guaranteed. Dear friends, please urge for more updates. If the number of updates exceeds 1,000, I will add more updates immediately. Chapter 55, Zhan Yuandan, Little Thunder Realm. You are listening at NovelFull.audio. The Yuandan realm is the realm where a warrior's strength undergoes a qualitative change. Compared with the Juki realm warriors, the Yuandan warriors not only have more powerful vitality, but also can perform martial arts faster. The most important thing is that after the warriors condense the Yuandan, the vitality will be endless like a surging river. After a Juki realm warrior releases martial arts a few times, the vitality in the body will be exhausted, and he needs to rely on pills to replenish the consumed vitality. But the Yuandan warriors do not need to swallow pills. With the Yuandan, they can continuously restore their vitality and continue to perform martial arts. At the same time that Lin Yuan began to accumulate strength, the Yuandan warrior Silent had already noticed something unusual. Unlike the opponents Lin Yuan had faced before, Silent was extremely decisive in his attack and did not give Lin Yuan the opportunity to complete the accumulation of strength. His 5 fingers were like hooks, grabbing directly at Lin Yuan's face. Unlike most of the disciples of the Zhangtian sword sect, the martial arts that CMO practiced were not swordsmanship, but claw-type martial arts. With the blessing of his Yuandan realm cultivation, his 5 fingers were like steel hooks, and he could crush a 1,000-pound boulder with a casual grab. Seeing this, Lin Yuan quickly dodged and retreated. Facing a Yuandan warrior, he did not dare to be careless at all. He would rather give up the momentum than take the opponent's attack head-on. You are quite clever. CMO did not expect Lin Yuan to react so quickly. Facing an opponent with the 6th level of Qi condensation, he just grabbed casually and did not think that Lin Yuan could dodge his attack at all. Lin Yuan did not speak, but looked at the other party with cold eyes. It was his first time to fight with a Yuandan warrior, and he was inevitably a little nervous. Seeing CMO pounce on his face with a claw again, Lin Yuan immediately made a decision in his heart. Quick fight and quick decision. He had not yet condensed the Yuandan, and he was definitely not CMO's opponent in a war of attrition. If he wanted to defeat the opponent, he had to take him by surprise and make a move when the opponent was completely unprepared. Now that Silent hadn't looked at him, it was the perfect time for a surprise attack. Thinking of this, Lin Yuan didn't hesitate at all, and his vitality burst out completely. Facing Silent's casual claw, he directly burst out his strongest attack. Xian level top-grade martial arts, Ling Xiao sword art, the 3rd style. Lin Yuan's body burst out with shocking sword energy. and the third-grade sword intent was unreservedly blessed on the sword in his hand, and the sword flashed with dazzling white light. At the bottom of the dim broken dragon cliff, the white light was extremely dazzling, as if 3 suns were flying in the air, and in an instant it pierced the Yuandan. Warrior Silent, who was a little unable to open his eyes, Silent was in a daze. Lin Yuan's sword had been delivered. Although he had practiced this sword countless times, it was the first time he used it in actual combat. Even Lin Yuan himself did not expect that this sword would have such a terrifying power. This sword, like a hot knife cutting lard, cut off Silent's arm without any hindrance. Not only that, the Lingxiao sword intent flashing with dazzling white light directly pierced through the Silent chest, leaving a light-transmitting hole the size of a bowl. How is it possible? Silent lowered his head in disbelief, staring at the empty hole in his chest with wide eyes, and the whole person was stunned as if struck by lightning. He couldn't believe it. He was a Yuandan warrior, but he was killed instantly by Lin Yuan, who was a 6th-level Qingyue. Oh no, a 7th-level Qingyue. After Lin Yuan put away his sword, he didn't dare to relax at all. Previously, in Baoyuan Jade Pool, when he fought with Xiao Miao for the last time, the other party had detonated the demon pill of the fake Dan monster, so he didn't dare to be sure whether Silent would have such a means. He didn't approach rashly, but waited until Silent's body fell to the ground, and then mobilized the remaining vitality, performed a shocking sword, and finished off his body again. In fact, Lin Yuan's worries were a bit unnecessary. Lingxiao's sword art is a Xian-level martial art, which is a high-level martial art that can be used freely by warriors in the general Tongxian realm. With the blessing of the third-grade sword intention, the power of this sword has exceeded the full-strength attack of ordinary Yuandan warriors. In addition, this sword went straight to the vital point and pierced the opponent's heart. Silent had no time to self-destruct his Yuandan. Lin Yuan didn't know this. When facing a Yuandan warrior for the first time, he would naturally choose the most reliable tactics. He made sure that the opponent had died before he went forward to check carefully. Silent at this time was dead and could not die again. Lin Yuan followed the usual practice and turned over the opponent's storage bag. In addition, he also stabbed the opponent's lower abdomen with a sword and took out a milky white bead the size of a quail egg from the dantian. This is Silent's Yuandan. After the death of a Yuandan warrior, the Yuandan will not dissipate immediately. Although warriors cannot practice by absorbing the Yuandan of other warriors, the Yuandan is the condensation of the essence of the warrior's vitality. Whether it is used for alchemy or refining, it can become a good material. After taking the storage bag, Lin Yuan crushed the Tianmeng waist badge on Silent's waist. After crushing the waist badge, Lin Yuan suddenly noticed that there was another badge on Silent's waist. He picked it up and found that it was a fine gold token with the word Xiao Leijia engraved on it. Xiao Leijia. Lin Yuan felt that the name sounded familiar. After thinking about it carefully for a moment, he remembered that Brother Muna, who drew the map, said that Xiao Leijia was a treasure land for cultivation in the Wanyaojia. There is a gathering of thunder power all year round. Entering it to cultivate, one can temper the body with the power of thunder and cleanse the impurities in the Yuan Qi, which is of great benefit to the warriors in the Juki and Yuandan realms. Unfortunately, this Xiao Leijia requires a token to enter. Every time the 10,000 monster realm is opened, the tokens of the Little Thunder realm will appear on the periphery. Every time it is opened, only 10 tokens will appear, representing the 10 places to enter the Little Thunder realm to practice. This guy is lucky enough to get the Little Thunder realm token. Lin Yuan was secretly surprised. He didn't expect that there would be unexpected gains from Shinimo. He immediately decided to leave Broken Dragon Cliff and go to Xiaolei realm to practice. Half an hour later, Lin Yuan found the entrance to Xiaoleiji according to the map. As soon as he approached the entrance, Lin Yuan discovered that the token hanging on his waist was emitting a dazzling purple light, and electric flowers flashed around the token. Then, Lin Yuan felt as if he had crossed some kind of barrier. When he came back to his senses, the lone mountain in front of him had turned into a sea of thunder. He could feel that this sea of thunder contained extremely rich spiritual energy, and when the electric flowers in the sea of thunder hit him, he felt no pain at all. On the contrary, after a period of numbness, his body felt full of strength. The Little Thunder realm is indeed worthy of its reputation. It can be called a treasure land for cultivation. Lin Yuan was amazed in his heart, strode towards the depths of Xiaolei realm, found a place with the densest electric flowers, and sat down cross-legged to practice. However, he had just sat down, several more figures appeared out of thin air at the edge of the Thunder Sea. Judging from their appearance, they also entered the small Thunder Realm to practice. After finding the tokens, I saw several people wearing Tianmeng badges on their waists. Lin Yuan's expression suddenly changed slightly. Chapter 56, Invincible, Fighting Shangguan Tianyou. You are listening at NovelFull.audio. Are these people from the Tianmeng? A hint of coldness flashed across Lin Yuan's eyes. He knew that since Shangguan Tianyou issued the bounty, he and the Tianmeng were destined to be incompatible, but now the distance was too far, and he could not be sure what the cultivation level of these Tianmeng disciples was. If the other party had a Yuandan warrior in charge, he would expose his target if he acted rashly, which would lead to trouble. More importantly, Lin Yuan was worried that Shangguan Tianyou would also be mixed in this group of people. He did not act rashly, but sat cross-legged in the same place without making a sound, trying to minimize his presence and constantly tempering his body with the power of thunder. However, Lin Yuan did not go to find these people, but the other party took the initiative to approach him. Seeing Lin Yuan sitting cross-legged in the deepest part of the Thunder Sea, these Tianmeng disciples immediately felt like they were facing a great enemy. After entering the 10,000 demon realm, the Tianmeng forcefully plundered all the small Thunder World tokens. This person was obviously not a member of the Tianmeng. How did he enter the small Thunder World? A Tianmeng disciple spoke with some curiosity. As soon as he spoke, he saw Lin Yuan's appearance clearly and immediately felt as if he was facing a great enemy. It's Lin Yuan, hurry up and kill him together. Lin Yuan was speechless when he heard this. He didn't want to cause trouble, but he didn't expect that the other party would recognize him. The Tianmeng has great power in the inner sect of the Zhangtian sword sect. At the beginning, Shangguan Tianyou casually offered a reward and said that he wanted to kill Lin Yuan in the 10,000 monsters realm. In less than half an hour, all the disciples of the Tianmeng had seen Lin Yuan's portrait. When they saw the real person at this time, several people immediately recognized him. But, isn't this guy at the bottom of the Broken Dragon Cliff, being chased by senior brother Silent? Why did he run to the Little Thunder Realm? Just when the Tianmeng disciples were confused, Lin Yuan had already taken action. After several people approached, he judged the opponent's strength through the aura. The weakest of the four was the 8th level of Qi gathering, and the strongest one was a half-step Yuandan. There was no real Yuandan warrior sitting in charge. If that's the case, Lin Yuan naturally had nothing to hesitate about. He attacked with a shocking sword, and with the blessing of the 3rd-grade sword intent, he went straight for the half-step Yuandan warrior. The half-step Yuandan warrior had no time to react. He was killed by Lin Yuan's sword, with the blessing of the 3rd-grade sword intent. Although the 9 sky-splitting swords were Dao-level martial arts, the shocking sword of the 9 swords combined into one was already powerful, plus the sword intent increased the sword skills. The power of this sword was infinitely close to the Xian-level martial arts. In addition, Lin Yuan suddenly attacked, and did not give the half-step Yuandan warrior a chance to react. This move was successful, and he directly killed the strongest among the 4. The next battle was quite easy. 2 warriors of the 9th level of Qi gathering and one of the 8th level of Qi gathering were no match for Lin Yuan. After the 2 warriors of the 9th level of Qi gathering fell, Lin Yuan looked at the last Tianmeng disciple. He was not in a hurry to attack. The fact that the Tianmeng disciples appeared here in groups meant that the Tianmeng's main force was likely near the Xiaolei realm. Lin Yuan needed to leave a survivor to get news about the Tianmeng from the other party. Where is Shangguan Tianyou? Lin Yuan looked at the other party coldly. He is outside the Xiaolei realm. The Tianmeng disciple who was at the 8th level of Qi condensation was already scared out of his wits. 2 senior brothers who were at the 9th level of Qi condensation and one who was at the half-step Yuandan level were killed by Lin Yuan like chopping melons and vegetables. He, who was at the 8th level of Qi condensation, could not muster up any fighting spirit at all when facing Lin Yuan. Why didn't he enter the Xiaolei realm? Lin Yuan asked with some curiosity. The Xiaolei realm was a treasure land that could temper the body and cleanse the impurities in the warrior's yuanqi. Shangguan Tianyou was at the 9th level of Yuandan, and the benefits here should be far greater than those of other warriors. Young Master said that the Little Thunder Realm is too ordinary. He has a thunder pool at home that is several times more effective than the Little Thunder Realm, and he disdains to enter such a place to practice. The Tianmeng disciple said truthfully. Lin Yuan was speechless when he heard this. He knew that Shangguan Tianyou was very powerful, but he didn't expect that the other party would not even look down on a treasure like the Little Thunder Realm. How many people are there in the Tianmeng outside? Lin Yuan asked again after a moment of silence. Only the young master. Huh? Lin Yuan raised his eyebrows, slightly puzzled. The Tianmeng has an important mission to enter the 10,000 demon realm this time. The others have been ordered to go deeper and have gone to explore the way for the young master. The Tianmeng disciple replied. Lin Yuan nodded, slapped the Tianmeng disciple unconscious with a palm, and then continued to cross his knees and practice with the power of thunder. 5 hours later, Lin Yuan felt that his cultivation had reached the bottleneck of the 7th level of qi condensation. At the same time, the vitality in his body became more condensed under the influence of the thunder power of the small thunder realm, and his physical strength was significantly enhanced. At this time, the token on his waist glowed again, and he was teleported out of the small thunder realm again. The small thunder realm can only allow people to practice in it for 6 hours. When the time is up, they will be automatically teleported out, then the token will disappear again and appear somewhere randomly outside the 10,000 demon realm. Back to the gate of the small thunder realm, Lin Yuan found that outside the gate, a figure was standing there calmly, as if waiting for him. This figure was tall and well-proportioned, a man with a jade-like face, who looked elegant and easygoing, with a bit of the character of a modest gentleman. Silence was killed by you. The man's voice sounded very gentle, but after the words fell, Lin Yuan felt his whole body sink, as if 1,000 pounds of force was pressing on him. That's right. Lin Yuan nodded lightly. After seeing the other party, he knew that this person should be the strongest person in the inner sect, Shangguan Tianyou, who founded the Tianmeng. Interesting, a mere 7th level qi condensation is capable of killing Yuandan warriors above his level. Shangguan Tianyou narrowed his eyes slightly, and a look of interest flashed in his eyes. Unfortunately, ants are always ants. The words fell. Lin Yuan didn't see him move at all, and his eyes blurred. The next second, he flew out uncontrollably and hit the boulder behind him. From beginning to end, Lin Yuan didn't even see when the other party made a move. He only felt a surge of emotions in his body, a sharp pain in his chest. 3 ribs in front of his chest were broken, and the meridians in his body were even more painful. Shangguan Tianyou, who was at the 9th level of Yuandan, was seriously injured with just a casual blow. Let's fight. Lin Yuan gritted his teeth, spat out a mouthful of blood, and a look of determination flashed in his eyes. He knew that he was no match for Shangguan Tianyou. Even if he wanted to escape, he would never be able to outrun a strong man at the 9th level of Yuandan. The only hope was to gamble everything and burst out with the strongest sword. As long as he could injure the other party, he would have a chance to escape. Let's fight. It's just a death anyway. Chapter 57: A Desperate Sword, a 9-star opportunity. You are listening at NovelFull.audio. A flash of determination flashed in Lin Yuan's eyes. Seeing that Shangguan Tianyou had no intention of pursuing him, he immediately began to gather momentum while silently performing the secret technique of the 3 mysterious transformations of divine fire. Shangguan Tianyou saw Lin Yuan's desperate intention, but he still stood there motionless. To him, Lin Yuan, who is at the 7th level of qi gathering, is just an ant that can be easily crushed to death. Rather than crushing him to death directly, it is better to see what Lin Yuan, who has killed several Tianmeng disciples in a row, can do before he dies. Counterattack. After a while, Lin Yuan's momentum reached its peak. The 3 mysterious transformation states of divine fire were activated, and powerful energy fluctuations erupted from his whole body. Ling Xiao sword technique, 3rd form, blast it for me. Lin Yuan's 3rd grade sword intention was fully activated. Under the double blessing of the 3 mysterious transformations of the divine fire and the momentum, the sword energy in his whole body exploded to its peak. The power of Xian-level high-grade martial arts burst out without any reservation. This sword was even sharper than the sword he used to kill Silence. At the beginning, he had no time to build up his momentum and could only rely on the blessing of the 3 mysterious transformations of divine fire to explode, and this time, Lin Yuan used all his trump cards, and the power of his sword exploded to the extreme. The sword energy around him was astonishing, like the blazing sun at noon, and he rushed towards Shangguan Tianyou not far away with an indomitable momentum. Xian-level martial arts. Shangguan Tianyou was slightly surprised, but his tone remained calm. No wonder, an ant at the 7th level of Qi gathering can surpass the level and kill Yuandan warrior. It's a pity that no matter how strong your martial arts skills are, you can't overcome the chasm between you and me. Shangguan Tianyou said slowly. After the words fell, he stretched out 2 fingers, held them against the sword, and lightly faced Lin Yuan's sword that risked everything. Shangguan Tianyou didn't notice. The moment they were about to fight, Lin Yuan's eyes changed slightly. First he was stunned, then surprised, and finally calmed down again, as if he had made some important decision. Boom! 2 figures came into contact. Lin Yuan was like a lone boat in the turbulent waves, flying upside down like a meteor, but Shangguan Tianyou stood motionless. His figure was like a towering mountain. Even if Lin Yuan tried his best, he could not move even an inch. Only. Shangguan Tianyou looked at his right arm in surprise. In the collision just now, Lin Yuan risked all his killing moves, but he was not injured. However, his body protecting qi was broken, and a hole was torn in Shangguan Tianyou's sleeves. Shangguan Tianyou narrowed his eyes slightly. Since his rise in the inner sect, he has been invincible and has become the most powerful person in the inner sect of the Zhangjian sword sect. Even the second strongest person in the inner sect of the sect, the 8th level of Yuandan, has never broken through his own body protection. Dongqi, Lin Yuan, actually did it. Shangguan Tianyou looked at Lin Yuan with some curiosity, looking forward to how this guy would struggle next, but what he didn't expect was, after Lin Yuan flew upside down, he did not rely on his vitality to adjust his body shape. Instead, he relaxed his whole body to release his energy. Using the aftermath of his own power, he flew hundreds of meters, stood up, and fled at full speed. Shangguan Tianyou was a little surprised, but immediately, the stunned expression was replaced by a disdainful sneer. I thought there was some way to suppress the situation, but I didn't expect that I just ran away. Ants are ants. Shangguan Tianyou shook his head slightly. He did not chase Lin Yuan. With his cultivation level, it was only a matter of seconds to catch up with him, but Shangguan Tianyou didn't bother to chase. Although Lin Yuan has some means, this strength is not enough to pose a threat to himself. He had already wasted a lot of time on Lin Yuan, and Shangguan Tianyou was too arrogant to waste any more energy on him, but it's Lin Yuan's side. He endured the burning pain all over his body and ran for more than 10 miles before he breathed a sigh of relief. Shangguan Tianyou's strength is truly terrifying. The sword he risked everything on failed to hurt the opponent at all. On the contrary, he was injured by the opponent's body-protecting aura, and the injury that was not serious suddenly became worse. Fortunately, the other party did not pursue him. Otherwise, I might really explain it here. After being defeated by Shangguan Tianyou, Lin Yuan did not feel any loss. On the contrary, his eyes were particularly hot at this time, because, the moment he was fighting Shangguan Tianyou just now, suddenly, a pillar of luck shot up from the opponent's feet into the sky, and the familiar words opportunity appeared above his head. This person's luck has been skyrocketing recently, and he is about to receive a 9-star opportunity. 9-star opportunity. After senior brother Yi and Luo Xingxuang, another 9-star opportunity. Even though Lin Yuandang locked onto the chance line on the opponent's chest, he even temporarily adjusted the angle of his sword so that he could be knocked away along the direction of the chance line. He was not sure whether Shangguan Tianyou would pursue him, but, with the 9-star opportunity at hand, Lin Yuan would definitely take the gamble no matter what. Fortunately, he was right, due to Shangguan Tianyou's arrogance. In his eyes, Lin Yuan and other members of the Zhangjian sword sect were nothing more than ants. Not bothering to waste time, he leaned over and crushed a fleeing ant to death. The direction of the line of opportunity is deep in the world of monsters. Even though Shangguan Tianyou has the Tianmeng to explore the path for him, he probably won't be able to find the place of opportunity in a short time. Lin Yuan secretly estimated in his heart. He endured the pain all over his body, took out some healing pills from the storage bag and swallowed them, then rushed towards the direction of the opportunity line without stopping. The 9-star opportunity is extraordinary. Even if there is a slight possibility, Lin Yuan will take a gamble and snatch the opportunity into his own pocket. In a blink of an eye, 2 days passed. Under the effect of the healing pills, Lin Yuan's injuries have basically healed, and in 2 days he has traveled hundreds of miles and arrived at the deepest area of the 10,000 monsters realm. Fortunately, the opportunity line detected by the system can always exist as long as the opportunity does not disappear, so Lin Yuan can cross such a long distance and track it all the way here. The opportunity should be nearby. I don't know, what will it be this time? Supreme Law. Heaven-level martial arts. Or. Lin Yuan guessed secretly in his heart. He searched along the opportunity line all the way, and found that the opportunity line stopped abruptly next to a vacant land in front, and was interrupted in the air. This situation, Lin Yuan encountered it for the first time. The chance line was interrupted in mid-air, as if there was an invisible barrier that cut off the chance line out of thin air, and the exposed part was still connected to Shangguan Tianyou in the distance. Could it be? Is there something strange here? Lin Yuan's heart moved slightly, and after a little hesitation, he immediately decided to go forward to check. After just a few steps, Lin Yuan felt as if he had hit an invisible wall, as if there was a transparent barrier that isolated the space in front of him from the outside world. This is warm tips. If you find that clicking the next page will force you to jump to other websites, please use the chapter error or contact us at the bottom to inform us. We will deal with it as soon as possible. Thank you for your understanding. Chapter 58, The Greatest Treasure, The Ancient Bronze Palace. You are listening at NovelFull.audio. Lin Yuan reached out to touch it curiously. Result, an invisible force bounced his hand away. This invisible wall seems to be a kind of barrier, blocking all those who want to enter inside. In that case, Lin Yuan suddenly realized something. He came to the place where the chance line was cut off and stretched out his hand to touch. Then Lin Yuan discovered that there was no transparent barrier here, and his outstretched hand disappeared into the air out of thin air. I see. Lin Yuan suddenly realized it and strode forward. In the blink of an eye, his eyes flashed, and the scene in front of him changed dramatically. The original open space turned into a maze in an instant. The layout of the maze is extremely complex. Lin Yuan stood there and saw various mechanisms hidden on the wall. Obviously murderous intentions were everywhere, but things like mazes are not worth mentioning at all once there is a route map to clear the level. The line of opportunity that Lin Yuan could see in front of him was undoubtedly his route map to get out of this maze. Just a quarter of an hour, Lin Yuan safely walked through countless forked roads and reached the deepest part of the maze. The deepest part of the maze is a small open space with a round stone table in the middle. Beside the round table, 4 withered bones were sitting cross-legged. These 4 withered bones had been lying dead for an unknown period of time, and the clothes on their bodies had become rotten. However, the remaining martial arts charm on their bodies could be seen at a glance. These 4 were alive. He is definitely an extremely powerful martial artist. When he got here, a smile suddenly appeared on Lin Yuan's lips, because he could clearly see that the chance line coming from Shangguan Tianyou's chest was connected to a bronze object on the stone table. Lin Yuan did not step forward rashly. He pondered for a moment, then took out an empty elixir bottle from the storage ring and threw it in the direction of the small round table. Result, as soon as the pill bottle flew out, the withered skeleton facing Lin Yuan suddenly swayed. The next second, the pill bottle flying in the air suddenly turned into powder. The hollow eye sockets of the withered bones looked at Lin Yuan. After staring for a moment, he saw that Lin Yuan seemed to have no intention of coming forward, so he sat back down in a dull manner. Lin Yuan was shocked. He could clearly feel that when the withered bones took action just now, the remaining qi around him was extremely powerful, even, not weaker than the Ziwei Holy Land disciples who had taken action against him in Sunset City. Tao Palace, this is the martial arts charm of the powerful people in Tao Palace. Lin Yuan's pupils suddenly contracted and then expanded rapidly. He did not expect that deep in the maze where murderous intent lurked, there were bones comparable to those of Taoist warriors, guarding this 9-star opportunity. He suddenly felt dizzy. A withered skeleton comparable to that of a Taoist warrior was enough to cause a headache, but there were 4 withered bones surrounding the round table. To get the bronze object from the hands of these 4 withered bones is as difficult as climbing to the sky. What should I do? Lin Yuan suddenly felt helpless. Just when he was feeling worried, he suddenly discovered that the chance thread connected to the bronze object began to shake rapidly. Turn out to be, while he was on the road these 2 days, Shangguan Tianyou also led the Tianmeng disciples to quickly search for the whereabouts of this treasure. At this time, it can be seen from the degree of jitter of the chance line, it is obvious that Shangguan Tianyou is very close to this place, and may even have entered the maze. Damn it, if we bump into Shangguan Tianyou from here, we will definitely have no way to go to heaven or to go to earth. Lin Yuan took a deep breath, just when he was at a loss what to do. Suddenly, the purple mark that had been floating quietly in the vortex of vitality in his body, as if inspired by something, took the initiative to fly away from Lin Yuan's sea of qi and fly to the sky above the open space. After this purple mark appeared, it released a misty purple light. After the 4 withered bones were illuminated by the light, they immediately trembled slightly, as if they had seen something that made them extremely afraid, and they crouched on the ground with sluggish movements. Lin Yuan was overjoyed at the sight. He ignored the hesitation and strode directly towards the small round table. The 4 withered bones sensed Lin Yuan's approach and subconsciously wanted to attack, but under the influence of the purple light, they were unable to move at all. Lin Yuan came closer and discovered that the bronze object was an ancient bronze temple the size of a palm. He didn't have time to appreciate the ancient bronze temple. After reaching out and grabbing it, he planned to put it into his storage bag. However, the moment Lin Yuan touched the ancient bronze temple, it turned into a stream of light and disappeared directly between his eyebrows. The moment the hull disappeared, the 4 withered bones also turned into streams of light and disappeared into Lin Yuan's eyebrows. The purple mark floating in the air no longer emitted light, but flew towards Lin Yuan again, returned to his sea of qi, and floated quietly in the center of the vortex of vitality. Lin Yuan couldn't care less about being happy. He knew that Tianmeng and Shangguan Tianyou should be very close to here at this time. He had to leave this maze before Shangguan Tianyou arrived, otherwise he would be hit by him and die. Just when Lin Yuan was worried about how to leave the maze without the line of chance to guide him, the ancient bronze palace between his brows shone brightly. Then a burst of soft white light appeared on the small round table, enveloping his entire body. Lin Yuan only felt that the white light was warm and soft, and his eyes blurred. When he came back to his senses, he had arrived in a completely unfamiliar place. Here is. Lin Yuan didn't care about being surprised, and hurriedly took out the map to check. After going around a long circle to check the terrain, he found that he had left the depths of the 10,000 monsters realm. The place where the white light teleported him to was the dense forest when he entered the 10,000 monsters realm at the beginning. Lin Yuan was overjoyed. He didn't expect that the white light would teleport him hundreds of miles away. In this way, even if Shangguan Tianyou and others broke through the maze, they would not be able to find him at all. Just as Lin Yuan breathed a sigh of relief and was secretly happy in his heart, Shangguan Tianyou and the people of the Tianmeng just found the entrance to the maze. He had no guidance from the opportunity line, so he could only let all the disciples of the Tianmeng go out, and finally found the entrance to the maze through a carpet search. After entering the maze, Shangguan Tianyou also noticed at a glance that this maze was full of traps. With his identity, it would be impossible for him to take risks. Under Shangguan Tianyou's order, the Tianmeng disciples explored the way ahead, while he walked behind, on the safe road filled with the lives of the Tianmeng disciples. Watching the Tianmeng disciples die one after another, Shangguan Tianyou's face was calm. He never regarded these people from the Tianmeng as his fellow disciples. To be precise, Shangguan Tianyou never regarded himself as a member of the Zhangtian sword sect. He came here just to find the maze of the 10,000 demons realm. For the thing deep in the maze, the so-called Tianmeng people are just a bunch of cannon fodder. Chapter 59. Who is it? Please urge for more updates. You are listening at novelfull.audio. There were 200 to 300 Tianmeng disciples who followed Shangguan Tianyou into the maze. However, when everyone broke through the maze and came to the deepest clearing, the Tianmeng disciples around Shangguan Tianyou have been reduced by about 1/3. The mechanisms in this labyrinth are extremely dangerous. Some trigger-type poisonous arrows can sting even Yuandan warriors, and there is no way to save them. They had no chance to guide them and took many wrong paths, almost relying on human life to fill the sea. I broke through the maze and came to this clearing. You, come forward and take a look at the round table. Shangguan Tianyou randomly selected a Tianmeng disciple at the 7th level of Qi gathering and ordered him to come forward and check. although the Tianmeng disciples were afraid, they did not dare to disobey Shangguan Tianyou's order. They groped forward cautiously, praying silently in their hearts that there must be no traps here. Fortunately, the disciple groped all the way to the small round table, but did not trigger any mechanism. When Shangguan Tianyou saw this, his figure flashed erratically, and the next moment he appeared at the small round table. However, when he saw the empty small round table, he couldn't help but be slightly startled. Empty? Why is it empty? Shangguan Tianyou was a little puzzled. At this time, his eyes fell on the small round table. Triggered, teleportation array. Shangguan Tianyou felt a buzz in his mind, and his whole person suddenly fell into a sluggish state. Next moment, he gradually came back to his senses, his eyes suddenly began to become bloodshot, and an uncontrollable anger suddenly burned in his chest. The teleportation array is triggered, which means, the things here were discovered first. Shangguan Tianyou's breathing gradually became faster, and a bone-chilling killing intent swept across the entire open space in an instant. Anger quickly eroded Shangguan Tianyou's reason. In just a few breaths, his eyes turned red and he entered a state of near rage. 5 years, he wasted 5 years in the Zhangtian sword sect. In the past 5 years, he spent millions of spiritual stones to run the Tianmeng, paved the way with the lives of hundreds of minions, and worked hard to find this place. He thought he could get the treasure and skyrocket from there, but in the end, all they found was a teleportation formation that had been triggered. This feeling is tantamount to spending a sky-high price on a betrothal gift. The matchmaker is marrying a beautiful bride and throwing a wedding banquet all over the city. When he is proudly preparing to enter the bridal chamber, he discovers that someone has arrived first, eaten everything, and not only turned the bride into his shape, and even pooped on the bed. How could Shangguan Tianyou endure this? Who is it? How dare you rob me of my opportunity? Take away my chance treasure. Shangguan Tianyou's expression was distorted and he was furious. He let out a thundering roar and shook the small round table into powder with one palm. Young master, what's wrong? A Tianmeng disciple suddenly realized something was wrong and asked cautiously, but the moment the words fell. Boom! Shangguan Tianyou struck out with a palm, and the violent energy instantly blasted his body into pieces. The rich smell of blood spread rapidly around. The whole maze was suddenly silent. Hundreds of Tianmeng disciples did not even dare to breathe loudly, for fear of angering the young master and being slapped to death. A full quarter of an hour. The whole maze was so quiet that you could hear a pin drop. After a while, Shangguan Tianyou took a deep breath, lowered his head with splitting eyes, and ordered word for word, check it for me. No matter who comes close to this area, he will be killed without mercy. Yes. A group of Tianmeng disciples hurriedly responded. Since they joined the Tianmeng, they have never seen Shangguan Tianyou so angry. The clothes of these Tianmeng disciples were soaked with cold sweat. Shangguan Tianyou squinted his eyes and looked at the small round table with heavy breathing. Suddenly, an idea flashed in his mind, and he vaguely remembered, previously, when Lin Yuan was knocked away by him, he seemed to have fled in this direction. Although Shangguan Tianyou didn't think that Lin Yuan, who was in the Qi-gathering realm, had the strength to break through the maze, he would never let go of any possibility. That thing must never fall into the hands of anyone but yourself. He would rather kill 100,000 people by mistake, but he also vowed to find the person who intercepted Hu and kill him to vent his anger. Shangguan Tianyou's eyes became even more murderous, and he said to the Tianmeng disciples beside him, go find me that guy named Lin Yuan. As soon as you find him, report him to me and I will kill him personally. Yes, young master. The Tianmeng disciples quickly responded. They knew that Shangguan Tianyou seemed calm at this time, but in fact he was extremely angry. No one dared to ask the young master why he wanted to investigate a mere Qi-gathering realm warrior, but since the young master has an order, just follow it. Shangguan Tianyou was furious and ordered the Tianmeng disciples to search all over the place. The other side, Lin Yuan found a relatively quiet place in the dense forest and planned to study the ancient bronze temple between his eyebrows. As if sensing Lin Yuan's will, the ancient bronze palace automatically flew out from between his eyebrows and floated quietly in front of Lin Yuan. Lin Yuan looked curiously at the palm-sized, 6-inch square ancient bronze temple in front of him. Although this ancient bronze temple is not big, its workmanship is extremely exquisite. The carvings of the temple are so meticulous that even the texture of the tiles the size of sesame seeds can be clearly seen. He was suddenly secretly surprised. After Lin Yuan pondered for a moment, he controlled the vitality in his body and injected it into the ancient bronze temple. As a result, Lin Yuan discovered, the vitality he injected into the ancient bronze temple was like a drop in the ocean. As soon as it was injected, it disappeared without a trace. He tried for more than an hour, until the vitality in his body was exhausted. The ancient bronze temple did not react at all. Seeing this, Lin Yuan shook his head slightly. It seemed that this way should not work. He sat cross-legged on the ground to recover his vitality. Only after his vitality returned to its peak did he start to study the ancient bronze temple again. This time, Lin Yuan did not inject vitality into the ancient bronze temple again. In the process of recovering his vitality, he thought carefully. Thinking of the ancient bronze temple that had sunk into his eyebrows, Lin Yuan secretly guessed that this thing, would it be related to mental power? So after recovering his vitality, Lin Yuan slowly probed the mental power cultivated in his body through the ancient scripture of destroying gods into the ancient bronze temple. At the moment when the mental power entered the ancient bronze temple, Lin Yuan's eyes suddenly blurred, and his entire consciousness was instantly sucked into the ancient bronze temple. At this moment, Lin Yuan felt as if he had entered a whole new world. However, he only saw a towering shadow, and before he could see the scene in front of him clearly, he felt a tearing pain in his mind. The next second, Lin Yuan's consciousness returned to reality. He could feel that he was kicked out of the world inside by the bronze ancient temple. The splitting headache made his eyes black, and he lost consciousness directly, and the whole person fell into a coma. Before Lin Yuan fainted, the bronze ancient temple turned into a stream of light again and sank into his brow. A whole day passed. Lin Yuan slowly opened his eyes, and his whole head was dizzy, and even his movements were slightly slow. He knew that this was a side effect of mental overdraft. When practicing the ancient scripture of destroying gods before, Lin Yuan had also tried to forcibly launch the second mental attack martial arts, the piercing god cone, and the result was like now, mental overdraft and headache. At that time, it took 2 or 3 days for his symptoms to gradually ease. This ancient bronze temple is indeed related to mental power. Lin Yuan's eyes lit up. He did not regret overdrawing his mental power. Instead, he was surprised to find clues to the ancient bronze temple. It seems that I need to spend more energy to practice mental power in the future. Lin Yuan knew that it was very dangerous for him to fall into a coma in the 10,000 monsters realm. The 10,000 monsters realm was full of dangers. If he was attacked by someone while he was unconscious, he would probably be dead. He secretly made up his mind not to spy on the ancient bronze temple until his mental power was improved to a certain level. At this time, a subtle voice suddenly caught Lin Yuan's attention. Chapter 60 Su Qingyue, Ghost Leopard. You are listening at novelfull.audio. It seems someone is approaching. Lin Yuan immediately became alert. He was hiding in a tree hole of a giant tree. Generally speaking, it should not be so easy to be discovered, but for the sake of safety, Lin Yuan went out to check carefully. When he stuck his head out, he found that the person who made the sound looked quite familiar. This person was being chased by a quasi-4th level monster. His figure was moving in the dense forest, but he could not distance himself from the monster. What a familiar figure. Lin Yuan frowned slightly. The distance between the two was actually very far. With his eyesight, he could only see roughly and could not recognize the other person's appearance at all. After hesitating for a moment, Lin Yuan planned to follow up to see what was going on. Although his mind was still a little groggy, he had recovered a lot after a whole day of rest, and the man and the beast looked like they had suffered serious injuries. Obviously, before this, the two should have fought, but the monster was clearly in the upper hand. Perhaps because of the injury, the speed of the man and the beast was not very fast, and soon, Lin Yuan caught up with the other party. The distance gradually shortened. Lin Yuan found that the figure being chased was not wearing the inner door clothing of the Zhangtian sword sect, but a tight suit with shorts, which looked very cool, and the pair of long white legs looked particularly hot and eye-catching. What's more deadly is the pair of magnificent snow peaks on her chest. Kept rising and falling with the wild running at this time, like two naughty big white rabbits jumping around, which really aroused people's imagination. Senior Sister Qingyue. Lin Yuan was slightly stunned. He didn't expect that the person being chased by the monster would be Hu Jiuxing. It has been 3 days since the opening of the 10,000 monsters realm. Hu Jiuxing changed out of the light yellow dress she wore when entering the venue. In order to facilitate movement, she changed back to her usual tight suit and shorts. It was because of this, Lin Yuan didn't recognize her at first. Isn't senior sister Qingyue at the 5th level of Yuandan? How could she be chased by a monster beast so embarrassed? Lin Yuan was a little puzzled. A 4th level monster beast is equivalent to a Yuandan warrior. A quasi-4th level monster beast is actually only equivalent to a half-step Yuandan warrior. With Hu Jiuxing's strength, it should be easy to deal with such a monster beast. Why is it so embarrassed? However, since he recognized Hu Jiuxing's identity, Lin Yuan thought for a while and decided to help her. For nothing else, after practicing in the Little Thunder realm, his physical body has been greatly strengthened. If he can get the essence and blood of a quasi-4th level monster beast, it will definitely make his physical body cultivation go further and reach the level comparable to that of a Yuandan warrior. After deciding to take action, Lin Yuan quickly approached the monster beast. It was a quasi-4th level ghost shadow leopard, a monster beast that was originally known for its speed. However, its front paw was injured at this time, and its speed was greatly reduced. Otherwise, with the explosive power of the 4th level ghost shadow leopard, it would be easy to catch up with Hu Jiuxing now. The injury of the ghost shadow leopard's front paw just created an opportunity for Lin Yuan. After he quietly approached the ghost shadow leopard, he performed the 3 mysterious changes of the divine fire and used the shocking sword close to the mysterious level. In fact, facing a quasi-4th level fake pill monster, Lin Yuan's use of Lingxiao sword art is the safest choice, but he didn't want to expose too many cards in front of Hu Jiuxing, so he didn't choose the more powerful Lingxiao sword art. However, to deal with an already injured quasi-4th level monster, the shocking sword is enough. The ghost shadow leopard's attention was originally focused on Hu Jiuxing, and he didn't notice Lin Yuan who was sneaking up on him, although its reaction speed was fast. It was caught off guard and was still chopped on its front paw by Lin Yuan's sword. Swish, the sword flashed, and the ghost leopard's left front paw was cut off. The ghost leopard let out a roar and subconsciously turned around and ran away, but how could Lin Yuan give it a chance to escape? While the state of the 3 mysterious changes of the divine fire had not yet disappeared, Lin Yuan once again used a shocking sword. This time, with one of its front limbs broken, the ghost leopard had no way to escape, and could only watch Lin Yuan turn into a white rainbow and cut open its chest with a sword. Lin Yuan put away his sword and stood up. He knew that the fake pill monster had the ability to self-destruct the demon pill, so, after Lin Yuan pulled away, he never approached the ghost leopard. Instead, he quietly waited for the other party to bleed to death. At this time, Hu Jiuxing also noticed the movement behind her. When she turned around and saw that it was Lin Yuan, she secretly breathed a sigh of relief. Junior brother Lin Yuan, thank you for your help. Hu Jiuxing turned forward and came to Lin Yuan, looking at him with her beautiful eyes and said, "Senior sister, you don't have to be polite. I'm only doing it for its blood." Lin Yuan looked at Hu Jiuxing calmly. She didn't know how long she had been running. Her breathing had already become a little disordered, and her snow-capped peaks rose and fell with her rapid breathing. "Anyway, thank you." Hu Jiuxing noticed Lin Yuan's gaze, silently took out an inner disciple's coat from her storage bag and put it on, then looked at him meaningfully. It seemed to signal him not to look at her anymore, or she would get angry. Lin Yuan immediately laughed awkwardly, cleared his throat, and asked with some curiosity, "By the way, senior sister, aren't you at the 5th level of Yuandan? Why were you chased so badly by a fake Dan monster?" "I am not very good at fighting." Hu Jiuxing's face was slightly red. In fact, she has always been very strong-willed. It was somewhat embarrassing for her to admit her weaknesses in front of others. "Since I became obsessed with alchemy 2 years ago, I haven't studied martial arts." "Well, everyone has their own specialty." Lin Yuan nodded indifferently. Seeing that the ghost leopard not far away had died, he quickly stepped forward and prepared to collect its blood. At this time, Lin Yuan suddenly heard, in the dense forest not far away, there were 2 whispering voices. "What's going on? Didn't they say that Hu Jiuxing is not good at fighting? How could she kill the ghost leopard?" The young master spent 200,000 low-grade spirit stones to buy this tamed ghost leopard. How can he let her cooperate with the Heaven Alliance without forcing her into a desperate situation? Hearing the conversation between the two, Lin Yuan frowned. From the conversation, he could tell that the two were obviously from the Heaven Alliance, and Qingyue was being chased by the ghost leopard. It was not as simple as it seemed. It's from the Heaven Alliance. Qingyue also noticed this. She quickly came to Lin Yuan and helped him collect the blood essence of the ghost leopard. At the same time, she said in a slightly hurried tone, "Let's go quickly. These two people are both Yuandan 4th level. After I refused to form an alliance, I was targeted by the Heaven Alliance. You are now wanted by the Heaven Alliance. If they find you, I'm afraid."